at what Afromash is doing. They have an online marketplace for farmers. You can start with your own WhatsApp group. You can start with your Facebook. Okay, you know farmers somewhere. Even this gentleman, I'm also going to connect with him after today. He has 1,000 seedlings. He might not be able to sell everything by himself. You can just come and partner with him. Just is true. On your WhatsApp status, on your social media platform, you can start posting, talk about oil palm, talk about seedlings, talk about why people need them, create content around it. The world has become so easy for us to create content. And there's somebody tell you that, please can I get seedlings from you? And before you know it, just connect with him and say, sir, I need 100 seedlings somewhere. And that's it with your phone. You started infusing technology into agriculture by what? Connecting the whole chain together, your value chain. That's not all. You can start with interning with agricultural technology companies. Most of the companies listed as sponsors today, they are infusing technology into what they are doing. You can intern with them. That's why when I read Mr. Inon's post on LinkedIn and that the guy studied agriculture, I was surprised. Because there are lots of farms that you can just go to. I went to IT for my 6-month IT and the experience transformed my life. So you can intern with any of these big companies, learn what they are doing, try to create content for them to make yourself very valuable, right? You can also learn skills. There are lots of online platforms today where you can learn skills. Two people have, I think there are two of them, they mentioned that they are aspiring data scientists. Learn it very well and find a way of creating data sets from agriculture, right? We need this data to be able to make better decisions. We can't just keep giving people money without knowing who they are. Every year, farmer money, trader money. Who did they give the money to? They don't know. After 1 month, how much are they spent? They don't know, right? Because there is no way to track these people. We need technologies to be able to do this. So I don't want to, I've used more of my time, I'm very sorry for that. But I hope I've been able to steer you up that just being into agriculture is not the way for us. We need you to be able to infuse technology and right tools into agriculture. Thank you very much for listening.
Afromash, they are in our midst, and they are going to tell us about themselves and the opportunities.
So let's start from the one we are used to. You're a young person, like you said, technology. You have a phone. You live in Ishen, which is like the family community of Shaki. And then you meet, the farmers and you say, oh, what do you need? Vaccines, feeds, crops and seeds. Okay, I can help you get them. You meet with the head of the partner experience, you get signed up, right? And before you know it, when all the farmers aggregate and they need something, you make order, we deliver to you, deliver to them. That are the inputs. As young people, what about off-taking? We all know that for farmers, having inputs is just one aspect of it. Most farmers, being a poultry farmer or a seed farmer or a grain farmer, he wants access to market linkage. And so you're asking yourself, okay, I know so market in Lagos. If I go there and I ask the woman that sells rice there, bags of rice, if I can supply you 100 bags of rice during the harvest at so price, would you be willing to? And she says yes. You say, okay, when it's time to harvest, as a young person, you don't need to have a shop, right? You aggregate and you supply, take your commission as it is, and you give the farmers, right? What about if it's financing? Farmers need access to financing. Now, what I'm just speaking outwardly because as young people who have come here to say, I love Agric, I'm giving you insights as to opportunities that are bound in this space. So I'm just summarizing. What about financing? Many farmers, be it poultry farmers, need access to financing. But what do they lack? Information. You are young people. You know of CBN agricultural loans. You know that traditional banks are no longer providing giving agric loans, but there are microfinance banks that are doing it. Okay. And you know that there are microfinance banks that are doing this, right? And you go to them, you say, oh, I have clusters of farmers that need access to financing, and what do you need from them? They give you the requirements, you call the farmers together, you say, oh, I was able to form a partnership with so-and-so organization. If you can do this, you can get 500,000, 700,000 with so-and-so. You are helping farmers thrive in the agricultural space, right? What about information? As young people educated in university, many farmers do not know of grants, USAID, GIZ, and so many others. Here and I met at the GIZ event, right? And GIZ is a German International Development Organization. So there are countries that every year they dedicate millions of dollars towards solving societal problems around the world. Agriculture is very high among them. And so you meet a cluster of farmers, you say, okay, what do we need? Access to maybe irrigation or engineering is going to cost $100,000, $50,000. And you tell them that, okay, no money to be paid, I will do the research, I just need you as a representative to write to USAID that in this community we need access to this or engineering. And you're right, USAID invites you, you make your pitch. It's successful. You have made change. Thousands of people. What about access to vaccine? Before I move to access to vaccine, technical advice. Many of us read agriculture. Maybe they give us the course. All right? They just give us the same reader. But ask yourself, you can be a technical advisor. That's one problem with agriculture, technical advice. So what do you mean by technical advice? If it's a poultry farmer, farm management, what kind of vaccines to use. You may not be able to do the veterinary side if you're not a vet. Please don't say the speaker from Afrima said I should go and give vet advice. If you're not a vet, do not do that aspect of technical advice. But when people need to manage their farms, there are many agricultural software tools that are just like QuickBooks. If you're in the finance space, you know what QuickBooks do. So what this means is that if you get this software, you can be the farmer to say, oh, do you know that if your birds are of this weight in 2 weeks, I can accurately predict that by so week, this is what your output will look like. And before you know, you're a consultant. So basically what I just, in these few short words, is to tell you that there are a lot of opportunities for young people such as yourself to make a mark in agriculture without thinking, oh, I need to spend a lot of money. Like the former speaker said, you need a phone, you can use technology. The farmers do not have access to information, you can use your phone. Just look for something that you can do that can help you. Unfortunately, sadly, our dearly beloved country is not what it is supposed to be. And so, in the midst of everybody saying, oh, I want to japa, or I want to do this, I am here to tell you that it's not by force, so let me not promise you, right? But there are opportunities in agriculture. All you just need to do is to do what the CEO of Afrimash did. I mean, he's a smart guy, right? He could probably have said, you know what, I tried, I failed, I'm locking up, let me go. Now, there's this saying that if you employ one person, you are feeding 6 families or 6 people, so as to speak. So it simply means that today, if Afrimash is 50 people, there are, give or take, 50 families in one way or the other that depend on the salaries that derive from the people working at Afrimash. You can be that change agent in your own little space without, blowing up your bank account. Now, let's come back to Afrimash. Now, what are the opportunities available at Afrimash? One, you can be an agent. So we have this agent network we run. We have this agent network we run on a commission basis. You get registered, you download the app, and you use it to make orders when farmers want anywhere in Nigeria. Now, I would have said let's run a little exercise so that you can see, but if you go to your Play Store, you see Afrimash agent app there. If you download, you can log in, but you need them to register to be able to log in, sorry. And once you're able to do that, whatever any farmer needs, we have over 3,000 products, be it vaccines, be it seeds, be it dale chip, the Agric, if you're used to it, pullets and whatever, be it plantain stems and the likes. You order for it, your commission, the mobile app will automatically calculate your commission for you, and when you click pay, automatically you'll see your wallet that your commission has reflected there. That is one aspect. Another aspect is you can be a partner on a contract or a contract partnership basis. That is, we have had people, small young people like yourself, come to us to say, "Oh, I'm in this community. I want to. We are looking for off-takers. I don't have the means to go to Lagos. How do we partner so that when it's ready, Agric helps to aggregate it, plus my own, commission on top, and give it to the off-taker. It also works, right? That's his department, my colleague Sydney. So you can also be what we call an affiliate. An affiliate is you push out what the Agric team is doing, and for that to you get commission pay. For those that are into digital marketing, if you're an affiliate, you know that you have a particular cool video that you show that for whatever you. Thank you. That for whatever you push out under the Agric brand, automatically the clicks count for you, right? So those are the opportunities available at Agric. I was told I have 5 minutes. I hope I'm not gone ahead. So in summary, what I'm here to tell you is not to wow you with any lies or as it were, or try to just give you the simple things from this morning that as you came here because you love Agric. I've told you the Agric side, and I'm here to tell you that it works, right? With just your mobile phone and a renewed mindset, you can actually make gains. There are people who started like yourself here, and all they do in Lagos is simply to be consultants, because there are clusters, millions. By estimate, Nigeria has about 40 million smallholder farmers spread across the country. Be they poultry farmers, be they grain farmers, and all these farmers, they need something. It's either they need inputs, off-taking, access to financing, grants, research, technical advice. You can plug into any one of them. You can say, okay, I read engineering, I know how to manage a farm. So you don't need to pay me. This software, just tell me if you're a poultry farmer, what? 10,000 a month, whatever you guys agree on, I will be able to predict to you to the nearest margin of error what your egg production or your poultry production would look like. Oh, sir, I read this and I'm in technical advice. Oh, these chicks are not looking healthy, I'm a vet, I can help you with this, right? You can even do a farm book. You can do a blog, right, and push it out on Facebook, right? And as people subscribe to it, you should have. If you don't want to do that, you can be a financial advisor, someone who applies for grant on behalf of a particular community of farmers. You meet the head, you tell them that, you know what, don't pay me now. I'm going to be applying for grants for you for the next 3 months. Whatever comes in, somebody has just to actually make money. Whatever comes in, I get 10%. Guess what? The first time they tried, $250,000 from USAID. 10% of that is what? 25,000. You get it. So when you see in Nigeria, you say, don't go to it, man. That's what people, some guys will say. I'm not saying that when you say, but we know how we talk. But call it law, call it preparation, it works. 10%, it was written in black and white. Then there's this other lady, I've forgotten her name, that started on Facebook with crowdfunding. 5,000, I think she's from Edo or something. 5,000 crowdfunding to Agric to invest in her. She uses it to buy crops like harvest and then sell to the market. The thing got so big. Before she was having 2 billion, and people say, oh, it's a scam. She took our money. The thing was, the money just got so big and she did not have a structure. So you also need to put that in your mind that as you grow big, you need to begin to think that, oh, I started singularly, I need to now start creating. So before you know it, she was aggregating from farmers in different areas of Nigeria, selling in Lagos, but there was no adequate. And then sometimes she also did not have the expertise, because if there, for instance, you collect maize from farmers and you say, oh, there's a glut in the market, you need to store the maize, right? You should know the content of the moisture such that by the time you are ready to sell, it doesn't go bad, and thereby you then lose money using buying. If you want to be a one-stop shop for fertilizers and vaccines, that is, when they need it, they call you, just order and supply to them like junior agent to fine for you. So I hope that in so short words, I'll be able to give you an idea on the next areas where you can channel your energy into. You can either be a partner to Afrimash. Our hands are very big, our hands are very big in church to welcome you. Or you can decide to launch out on your own because you love agriculture. Just have the mindset that it is me, I can do this, and I'm going to succeed. Thank you very much.
The media aids the government. So please, everyone, welcome all of them. As we tell every of the president you are going to do this today, and they will tell you everything that Oyo State is having for all youth. And while the lecture is going or was going on, we have one of our guest speakers from Crane, Mr. Frank. Please, wherever. Yes, please come up, sir.
Happen to be a research fellow at Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria. My story in Agric is just what I will share and encourage us. Actually, my first degree is in geophysics, so don't be surprised. I also have another degree in geophysics, in MSc geophysics, and but you know the Nigerian job factor. Actually, I would say my father brought me into Agric. Because I was born in Niger Delta, and I did everything possible to stay within oil and gas. Do you know what that means? Everything possible. That's why I narrowed myself to geosciences, so that I can be in oil and gas. You can, both from community level, anything. But you see, it didn't work. My father was field overseer in NIFOR, Nigeria Institute for Health and Research. So I grew up there. That is where the Agric journey began. So during school levels, this is what we used to sustain. But when I got the job in Green, or before I got the job in Green, I've been into oil palm nursery. I've been into soil analysis because I work with my uncle, who's a soil scientist in NIFOR. But along the line, I got a job in Green after the second degree. So I have to go to UI to do MSc in soil physics. Because I've now come to realize that Agric is something that is inside my blood. I just told you I have to be in the farm first before coming here. So that's just a background story. Now, the issue is this with Agric. And those days we see it as something poor people do. I realized recently that two aspects: ICT in Agric, ICT construction, a little of oil and gas, fashion, then food. These are the in thing now. People must eat. Sorry, I'm a pastor. I wanted to say praise the Lord. And you need to laugh a little. The truth is that when we are in Agric, we are actually in the main team. You see, there is still no software today that can deliver food to your table. Most of this food, in fact, very little food can be grown in the laboratory. The kind of food they will do in a laboratory is still under test running. So over 90% of the crop food production must be grown in the soil. Then the vertical technology we are having now and all of that. So what are we trying to say? Everybody will eat. In fact, sitting down there, I got some inspiration when the other man was speaking. You see, a lot of things I said did not know. How to get funds and the rest and all of that. But now let me go back to my story. The main story is this. Getting to Green as a laboratory technologist, I found my way to research cadre because I have those other degrees. But you see, the salary cannot do anything. The salary is nothing compared to what I've made from my business. Nothing. I have a small farm called the Greenfield Agro Farms. And it has opened doors. When I mean doors, we're online. It has opened doors. I mean, I've sat with at least 2 governors. I've sat with not less than 6 senators. I was at the time with a meeting with the chief of staff to the president, the president of Ogiadume. And now what happened is this. These people, before, I know them before. But I used to call them, I need job, I need this. Everybody will turn you down. In fact, one of them told me, in fact, there's no family in this country where someone is not looking for a job. So but by the time I begin to roll out my Agric product, that is when we start sitting down to discuss. By the time they begin to find out that, oh, you say you have outbound, you do this, you do soil analysis. So at that point, they begin to sit down with me to discuss. So what I'm trying to say, if you don't have an Agric product in the market, you cannot collaborate with people like Agric. Then you are not in business. You are playing. If you don't have any product in the market, you may not be the producer. You can just find, is it that why 2014 is the turning point for me. You know, I listened to the federal government then, they were serious. And they keep echoing, find your space, and introduce what we call value chain. Value chain. Find your space. You don't have to, you don't need to own land. You don't need to own it. Just find, look for what you can do and attach to someone and do it diligently. Before, and another thing most of us do in Agric is that we want to get rich, sharp. It's about building a legacy. It's not about just getting the money for the money's sake. It's about having a legacy. I said I've not been around for like about 3 months, but the farm is running. The farm is running. At least I have like 7 staff. The farm is running, and I received the alert within these 2 months. I have not been away. At least I should have received a lot, not more than $1 million naira. My salary is averagely 152,000. So within this month, I'm not around. I don't have to be there. So what we are saying is that just find a space. If you have something in the market, somebody will definitely come and ask, because people must eat. And so this Agric is the new good man. I just gave us some insights. Agric, we talk about fashion, talk about construction. These are the things that make money. It doesn't mean you can diversify, but we are talking about Agric now. So then my journey in green research. Actually, I have conducted research into cocoa, cashew, oil palm. And that oil palm is personal because I was born with it. It's not part of our mandate. But I've handled contracts of oil palm running into millions of naira. Because that's our background. There are a lot of us that know a lot of things our parents taught us, things we know from, but we just trash it. We just trash it. So now I would like to just focus on 2 things. Let's say oil palm and cocoa. You can find your space, like I said. If you need to improve materials, let's say cocoa pods, you can come to Green, give you materials, you pay for it to you give you materials. You may not have farm, but you can have one small corner where you have your nursery. With all these kind of connections, you should be able to get 1 or 2 technical people that will put you through. Then you know now your product can be in America. Just load it online. Somebody will be looking for cocoa seedlings tomorrow. One of the first contract I got from one of the senators from Delta State and from Delta. He didn't know me from anywhere. I got an email that they needed 10,000 units of oil palm seedlings. I just saw the email. How they got my email ID, I can't tell. But the person just called that you have not responded to your email. I was like, So by the time I went there, unfortunately, it went to spam. So that was why. And we know most times we don't check. So that was why. So by the time I saw it, and I saw the contact, it's the same person. And I returned the call. And A plus B plus C. Within 24 hours, the truck is loaded to Delta State. So what we are saying is that from that experience now, you too can have your own small, find your space. If you don't have a nursery, you can collaborate with people like this. Just help do some online marketing. Just put some things there. Somebody will see it somewhere. And even if the person doesn't need it, someone that needs it will tell someone that I need so and so. So that's one aspect. Then the other aspect I would like to talk about is the aspect of soil. The truth is this. Okay, before I go to that, technical input. I went to farm in Kogi State. I find out that they planted oil palm 3 meters from each other. All effort to convince the man, because so many of us are not shopping. We carry one rickety car to the farm, you don't value. Maybe if I go with police, maybe the man will think maybe I know what I'm doing. So I told him, I said this thing is okay, but you can only benefit if you want to use it for palm wine. It's part of Agric. You see, I tried to, since it's not ready to make any change. Now that the farm is just like 4 years old, that's why he was complaining. The farm is just about producing. I said you have to allow to go for everyone to have to go, so that you can try to maintain 9 meters. He refused. So he now asked me what else. At that point, I was inspired to tell him that you can also get palm wine from this thing. He said, like, at what age? I said, maybe after like 15 years. Because you have to be very mature to produce palm wine. But it doesn't have to be very mature to produce bunches. And the man said, cannot do that. Cannot wait for 15 years. I said, so you have to go back and do the first option. Whether he has done it or not, I don't know. So what that tells you is there's knowledge gap. All you need to do is to sit down with organizations like this. Be trained. Just have knowledge. Somebody will call for it one day. Somebody will just have knowledge. So look at different crops. Like now, I don't do anything animal. I don't. I have no idea. I don't want to choke my head too much. I'm coming from the calculus to business background. And so some of those things are still there. There are some things even when I was in Benin, I was still teaching some. They are still there, but I don't want to use it. And I don't want to add what I'm not going to use. But that does not mean I don't have small knowledge or understanding of what is happening. Now, like, the first thing when I got here, the man was talking about whether you're a poultry business and stuff like that. And I have space that I want to erect poultry for like 2 years now. But I've not been able to put myself together. So this kind of, I also connect to one person, someone may be in this hall now, that have idea of how to do poultry business. We'll discuss. And then I go back, okay, come and consult for us, at least 4 feet. So get trained. You see, many of us are not trained, and that's why we are not making it. We are not trained at all. You don't need any Agric certificates. Just take it for you. Don't need it. Don't let anybody deceive you. The only way you talk about needing Agric certificates, maybe you want to work for someone. But that you want to work for yourself, all you need is knowledge. The area you want to go in, you don't need an Agric certificate. Because there are people who study Agric like us. I can say I studied Agric because I have the opportunity to go to do MSc UI, soil physics. Fine. But maybe because we are working. But you can always reach out to people like us for soil tests, for all those technical issues. There are so many of my boys, I'll call them boys. At least since I got to Ibadan, I've trained no less than 50 boys. 50 boys. So, they'll call, okay, somebody say, want to do soil test. Okay. Before, I used to go, collect the sample by myself. But now, I know that time has passed. While we're doing that, at least they have learned it. This is how to collect soil sample. This is about them, this is about them. We bring it to the lab, I'll analyze, give them results. So they pay, they get their own commission, and that is it. So that's why I said you don't need any kind of formal education on Agric. It's not necessary because the hunger out there It's too much for you not to find your space. It's too much for you not to, and two, you must be resilient. Because people will talk you out of it. I had an experience at Clean where I set up my oil nursery and the management talked me out of it. Pack this thing out of this place, pack this thing out of government quarters, all those kind of policy. In fact, they set up panel. Just listen, it's set up panel. I'm trying to encourage you because even your parents can tell you are playing, your mates are pressing hope and you are planting maize. How do you do it? But there was a day, I think because it's in the House of Lords, I don't know, the Oyo State House of Assembly somewhere. House of Chiefs. I don't know where I was around. I got a message from the Federal Minister of Agric that is going to come to Ibadan that day for some kind of agri program. And I was there. And in all of this, I reported my management. You see, it's not that, I'm not trying to do that. That they use, they make farming a crime. It's not that you stole anything from them. I bought the cocoa pod from them, raised the cocoa pod in my own private farm outside the system. We went there to be snapping and doing, criminalizing everything. And at the time I was asking our own because I was privileged to ask questions. That, you still have to read right too. In section 2, section 5, subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution, state clearly, as a public officer, nothing prevents you from farming. Nothing. So I raised that question and asked, why will management setting up panel against me because I'm doing this and this? If I work again and I buy cocoa pod from you to turn into nursery, about value, and I should be able to be paid for my value, not from you. I have my own clients, so how am I committing crime? But the man was like, calm down, we are coming to pay. He couldn't answer. Later, Jimmy may so rest in peace. He screamed like, who is doing that? In fact, that session I quoted was quoted by Jimmy. That's how I knew. I went back to confirm it. So you understand? So these are the heights that people can take you out of your direction. But today I'm glad I sit down with the current management. In fact, they will consult me within the system. Like now I'm on strike. They consult me to go and do some work in Ondo. But I'm on strike, so I have to pay extra. I'm the staff. It's not because there are no other people to do it. But you see, with time, we have developed our character to a level that they know we're going to deliver, even when we're on strike. So, in a summary, I didn't have any specific thing to tell anyone, but just to brush on that when I got this invitation, I was like, I have to be here. This is like the third time I'm having this kind of opportunity to talk to people about farming. Farming is actually life. It's actually life. If there is no farmers, in fact, I wonder what happened to this country. So I want to encourage us. There are technical people around. Make sure you know what you are doing. You don't get to a place and begin to find out what you want to do when you get there. Somebody invites you for a project. Research. If you don't know what you're going to do, ask questions, send messages, and make sure you are properly equipped. Because it will be stupid that you get to the point where they are supposed to give you $1 million worth of contract, and they just felt they don't think you are robust enough to handle this thing. Okay, let me just try this guy with 50K. So that means they are not coming back unless you prove beyond reasonable doubt that you are worth the project. See Agric as a business. See Agric as a way of life. If you don't love Agric, don't bother. It's not something, because there are a lot of pitfalls. We just tell you the good side. If you don't love it, don't bother. There are many farmers that are owing me. My money outside is still more than 2 million. And I'm not discouraged. In fact, I'm planting today. Yeah, they said it's late. I said we understand the oil palm, the resilience of the oil palm. My boys are in the farm planting now. For someone that is going up 300k. The truth is this, the land is ready. The land is ready. And so I try to think, even if it's still owing us, what are we going to lose if we have to take the time and the chance? It's passion. It's passion. So when that one is done, the money is going to us increase. It's bank. Agric is my own bank. So that's how I summarize. Thank you.
Thank you.
The person of Mr. Adjoli Akoyomi.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Actually, if you are into any medical course, you will eat. Because I've never seen a hospital where you are telling the doctor, where the doctor is telling you go and pay 10,000 naira. And you are telling the doctor, she go back 2,000. Is it possible? And with my little experience, I've come to realize that sometimes those guys just charge us based on their pockets, based on what they need, and based on what is on ground. Because I have a sister who is a nurse, so by virtue of her profession, I got to know some of these things. But all those drips and the odd lights that they give us in the hospital, they are very cheap. Long time ago, my sister was telling me, how much is that drip? It's 150 naira. They gave you 3, and right now they are telling you to go and pay 10,000 naira. For what? These are things that happen. That is as far as medical side is concerned. If you are a medical person, I can tell you, you will not be too rich, but you can never be hungry at the same time. The second one is agriculture. Till this world will come to an end, we all believe that this world will come to an end. Till this world will come to an end, people will continue to eat. And the truth of the matter is, the population of the whole world is growing, while the land that we are using for agriculture is decreasing. I'm telling you the problem right now that is facing agriculture all over. The population is increasing, while agricultural lands are decreasing. And now the issue is, how are we going to take care of the population that is increasing? And in economics, they taught us that when demand is greater than supply, what will happen?
Price.
Yeah? I'm a science student, but I'm
That will be increasing.
yeah? I know little about some of these. When demand is greater than supply, of course there will be scarcity. And when there is scarcity, the price will do what? It will increase. And when the price increases, of course there are some situations that it will benefit you. There are some situations that it might not benefit you. But as far as agriculture is concerned, I can tell you, you will always benefit from it. If you ask those people who have a farm, you always benefit from it. I've seen someone that has just how many plots, maybe like 5 plots of land, not up to 1 acre. He is married with kids and is taking care of his children. Just 5 plots. What he's planting is just tomatoes. So I'm trying to encourage us that if you can really look into this thing, of course there are challenges in it. I'm not able to mention the challenges, but if you can look into these things, I can tell you it's a jackpot for the future. Then the next problem that is facing agriculture, which every one of us knows, I'm going into my presentation gradually, is that there is something we call climate change all over. And right now this thing is eating everybody all over the world. For example, here in Oyo State, there is a farm we're supposed to use for field day, the cabbage farm, looking so nice and excellent. And like a few weeks ago, the whole plot were flooded. In Kotak, what we have not been, I don't want to speak about, what we have not been experiencing in the past, now we are beginning to see them. It's not only in the southwest, it's also happening to them in the north. Not only in the north, it's also happening to them in other parts of the world. In Senegal, I still have the picture on my phone. A watermelon farm, the whole farm were flooded. It was said to me and I was like, this is a great loss. The whole farm. The watermelon is ready for harvest anyways, and it rained. And I could see the watermelon floating inside the water, everywhere flooded. So this is what we are facing all over the world. But researchers are not relenting, they are always at work. They are always working. And their work is that they are looking for a variety that will suit the present climate change that we are all experiencing all over the world. those people who are already planting can testify to this, that there are some varieties that you've been planting before, but right now you think they've removed something from the variety, so the variety is no longer working the way it was working before. They didn't remove anything, it's just climate change. And that's why any variety that stands for 10 years maximum, even 10 years is too much, but let me just mention 10 years. If there is a particular variety, after 10 years, they need to go back and look for another variety that will replace that variety, or else that variety will not be able to stand the test of time change because of this thing we call climate change. Are we together? And this is part of what we do in Syngenta. One of the things we do is that we try as much as possible to look into the climate change that the whole world is experiencing, and also to get a variety that can suit the present challenges that we are facing in agriculture. And that's what Syngenta is doing right now. That we get you a variety that will be able to stand the test of time, and that when you plant, you'll be rest assured that you are covered despite the harsh weather or climate, you are covered, and at the end of the day, you'll be able to have high return on investment.
The government of Engineer Seyi Makinde believes in agriculture. Sometimes last year, during the COVID as well, we understand that there is this program, Youth in Agribusiness Project, Youth in Entrepreneurship and Agribusiness Project, where he sent about 3,300 youths to Nasarawa for training. And it is also, there's this program, the agribusiness program going on at our farm in Oyo Town, where youths can also go there, they can get engaged, and some of them are even having plots of farms there, as well as the one at Fashola Farms in Oyo. If you know Fashola has over 1,700 hectares for farming. There's another one too at Irua, 3,000 hectares for farming as well. All of these projects, all of these stuff from the government is to make sure that youths are properly engaged. I would like to tell you that I also studied Agric. I did animal production and health from Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. So, when it comes to agriculture, the government of Engineer Seyi Makinde is invested in it. And we believe, if you look at most of the things the government have been doing, you might not see the results immediately. The opposition will say, audio governor. But along the line, within few times, you start seeing the results. You start seeing that, okay, international organizations, investors from different countries start trooping in just because of this program. Look at the Fashola Fund. We've had about 16 different countries come around to come and see what the governor of Oyo State is doing there. Of recent, I was there for inspection, project inspection, and I was told that as at last week, 10 different investors are interested in investing at the Fashola farms in Oyo Town. We have not even started the second phase of the Irua farms, yet we have 10 investors. In Africa, Oyo State, Fashola farm is the second farm that has brought in more investors in Africa. That's a good thing. So now it shows that there's something we are doing right. As much as we have not started seeing the best of the best results, but the growth is there for all to see. So that gives us hope as youth that, okay, this path that I'm about to take, the path of agriculture that I'm about to take, is a path that is sustainable. It's a path that you and I can do, and as well see that, okay, yes, there's a future in this. The former speaker said, if you are into Agric, that you might not be, if you are a medical person, you might not be too rich, but you'll be able to take care of yourself. Then if you are an Agric person, you might also not be too rich, but you'll be able to take care of yourself. I want to add that, sir, even if you look at the top richest people in the world, aside from the tech guys now, at the end point of what they are producing, it all deals with the basic amenities of human. So as an Agric person, you have everything in you to become extremely rich. Because what business is all about, the major profit of any business is the numbers. Yet, when he was talking, he gave us a little problem and a solution to it. The problem is, the food we have is not that much, yet the population keeps increasing, showing us that the numbers are there and available for every one of us to see, but the problem remains the scarcity of food. So if you want to become rich, the answer is look for the solution to that problem. And what is that? Go back as a farmer, start planting. When you have a lot of it, then you believe that there will be influx of money from your produce. As government, yes, everybody will say, what is the government doing? I hope everybody knows that there is MSME loans from the state government. There is also an end grant from the state government. Now, people find it difficult to approach the government or to benefit from all of these programs. One thing we fail to understand in this part of the world that when you write, you open a lot of doors. As youths, we believe this problem, this issue, I don't have someone there, I don't have this, I don't have that. But do you know your letter can enter a lot of places you yourself cannot even enter? Just write. Approach OISADA. Write. Explain to them this is what you want to do, your proposals, explain to them, then follow it up. Most times we believe, let me just do this, because I don't have someone, they will not call me back, they will not do this. But please do follow up. Once you follow all of these your ideas, all of these your letters up, you get help. You get help. If you ask from people who are doing well, who are getting support from the government, who are doing this, most of them don't know anybody in government. You might find it difficult to believe, but that's the truth. Most of them don't know anybody in government. All they just did is approach a particular person. Then after that, they follow up with a letter, explain. Yoruba used to say, issue atenumoro kokinjono. When you disturb a particular organization, go back. When it gets to a time, they will have to consider you by force. So if you really want to make impact, it is up to you to come closer to the government. Make sure you understand every of their programs, every of their projects that is going on. Then you see the one that suits you, suits your own idea. And who knows, you might be the next person who will get the largest chunk of any of the projects or any of the funds from the Oyo State government. But I can assure you, if it is the government of Engineer Seyi Makinde, the youth will benefit more than every other demography. Just like in his appointments, just like in his projects, just like in his programs. The governor is someone who believes and understands the youth better. And yes, we have seen a lot of people say he's the best governor in Nigeria, is this, is that. But at the end of it all, he is leaving a legacy for you and I to follow, either in Agric, either in education, either in infrastructure, or any other means. But it's someone you can look up to and say, yes, I believe that with this government, I'll be able to do exploits in my field.
Distinguished academic audiences and professionals, thank you for impacting the youth with this knowledge. I'm really happy to be here this morning or this afternoon because knowledge is very important in everything, in any and everything we do. Knowledge drives action. The more we know, it really helps us to become more productive. And I would really say that whatever we are doing here today, whatever beautiful ideas, beautiful initiatives we are doing here that will come out or that will batted out of this knowledge that we are sharing in the exposition that we're having here today. Just like the essay said, the government of today in Oyo State is interested in empowering youth and helping youth to achieve as much and as possible.
Any issues that we are having that possibly from the annual policies or what is not being done, if there is any form of policy that is not even being implemented, please bring to our notice so that we can also, do proper follow-up and make sure that proper implementation strategies are being done. And lastly, I would love to emphasize on what I have said earlier, which is knowledge. Just like SA said, one of the major philosophies of the government is data science and logic. It's very important to have knowledge. And whatever we have come here today, I want us to see it as something that is very, very important. I don't most of us know a lot. And I would like to say that one thing that is very important is that publish. Opportunities are there for every one of us. If nobody is publishing you, publish yourself, your brand, what you are doing, the unique idea that you are bringing on board, the value you are bringing. All of these things are going to one day definitely bring you into limelight. Let us engage in research. Let us do as much as possible, publish our ideas, our findings on our farm. Many of the things we'll be seeing in our farms when we get involved. I mean, not by profession, but of course I love farming. Many of the things we'll be doing on our farms are going to give us inspirations to do research. Oh, why is this problem like this? Why is this like? Let us really build that knowledge that will enable for us to be able to profile solutions to the rising world. Thank you so much.
Adedoja Abdulmujib Olaipon. Okay, our problem is that, let me term it as security challenges, like Fulani X-Men invasion. There was a time we planted almost, was it not like 10 hectares of cassava, and for a single day we went there, and the X-Men deliberately uprooted it and gave it to their cows to eat. Now, we reported that to the state police and the local government police that is present there. We took a picture, we showed it to them. They said they will find a solution to that. Now, another thing happened again, but like that same situation happened. Now, the farmer killed probably 2 cows from that ranch. Next day, or like 2 weeks after, they went to the farm and they killed the farmer. Like, so it is not that they can take revenge. No, we cannot take revenge on them. Now, please, I'm imploring the state government, like His Excellency, to help us to find a solution to that.
So basically, what my major concern is, I'm a youth, maybe small youth, let's say smallest youth. So when I was trying, we were talking about oil cider, like it's not a big deal for us to walk up to them. I was at an exhibition, was now this year at IIT. So the kind of requirement they gave me for me to even start at that period of time, I was like, this is hilarious. How would you expect someone who is trying to even start with something little or even get encouraged to go on with all these requirements? Okay, so I actually understand the whole requirements due to the risk and everything. But now what I'm actually imploring the government to do is, if they can actually be like an insurance support to any initiative, apart from making it flexible, so that every youth can actually have access, even if it's just a plot of land and not with extreme requirements. And then the insurance part is so important, because even if you have a personal land and you decide that, okay, I want to do it, just like how we said, there's no insurance policy at all. It can actually be worked out. If it's worked out, I lost my farm, was not me, due to this same issue you talked about. And I knew that, okay, these same people, even if we cannot fight back with them, if there was an insurance policy, at least I would have, even if it's 10%, after going through the hassle of using the little I have to start with something. So that's what I was going to say.
Sometimes our decisions, the decisions we make or we take sometimes, are what comes back to have and to want us. As much as I don't want to be political, we should know that some decisions will still come back to haunt us. Now, for example, we know what is happening in the country. I used to tell someone, I said, you are saying you don't want to join politics. Fine. But you know politics is what will determine your life. From A to Z, it will determine your life. So either you like it or not, it is a dirty game. It's either you go there and go and watch it clean, or you leave it that way for it to continue to get more dirtier and messier. So now, for the price control, we know that everything is being decided in this country by the price of petroleum. Whatever they want to do, there's a solution to stuff like that. I told him, I said, this is a policy making issue. When there is issue of price control, Ministry of Agriculture will not do anything, because the head of that ministry is a political appointee. Is a subset to the real person. Even if they have relations or anything with the real person, they will just say it by mouth. That will say Motigbo. Yes, Motigbo might not even remember to do anything in the next 6 months. But when it is something that comes in through a policy document, he understands better because he works in the parliamentary setting. Now you have an association. The association writes a safe soul to the House of Assembly or through a particular young, bright and sharp honourable who understands that this is how to put it to make it into a policy. The policy becomes a law. Then that law guides you. Then you'll be able to control it. But nevertheless, it is not just one person that will be able to control it because there is no monopoly anywhere in such stores. Because the price at which you do A might be different from what the other. So it has to be something that a bright, young, sharp honourable and the stakeholders come together to plan and factor out. Because once it becomes a law, there is no going back. And I can tell you, the Oyo State House of Assembly and the state government, since they know it is something that is unique and will profit the farmer, they will be ready to toe that line. But yes, it is not something that will be done within 3 months, but it is something that is achievable and it's something that can be done. But through policy making, no governor will just say, as from tomorrow, this is the price. If he does that, some people will say about Jamaje, some people will say Kiniko. So please, it has to come through a stakeholders meeting through the policy document. The second one, as regards security, I've said it as well. Whatever happens in this country, we already know who the first citizens are. We know who the second citizens are, and we know what's up. I know it should not be like that. I know it should not be like that. But when it comes to that, when you cannot beat your boss. The governor will only say, I'm the chief security officer of a particular state. I'm the chief security of this state. On paper, the governor can only say, Commissioner for Police, so thing happened at this place. If the Commissioner for Police gets another order from Abuja, he would discard the one from the state governor. Straight. Sometimes, I think it was earlier this year or last year, Governor Sanwo-Olu was talking to a particular police officer, saying that the police officer should leave. And that person is saying the order came from Abuja, not from you. So now when you see something like that, as much as, yes, I am human too, and I can tell you the governor is human. Nobody will see them beat them, turn normal. He will not be happy as well. But you cannot say go and kill that person. Because they will say he's inciting people to go and fight. But you know how these things work. But nevertheless, one thing we should all know is that security is not just the work of the government alone. It is something that everybody has to do. As much as Amotekun will say they want to do it, Amotekun too is not happy. It's not as if they also don't want to retaliate on your behalf. But they know that they cannot do it because there's a power that is somewhere that gives the order for everywhere. That's why you see that they did not even give them the opportunity to carry some arms. Whereas just look at what the federal government did through the policies they made last month. And Governor Akeredolu was reacting on it and he said it is a slap on us and even the state government that state governments cannot give arms to security or local security operatives. But the federal government is saying the private companies and private individuals should carry guns and secure places like that. That means they are not giving the power to the states, but they are giving the power to some private individuals. So whatever the state government wants to do in that regard, it is just a limited help. So I'm very sorry. I'm not trying to defend the state government here, but I'm just telling you the beer and the truth, the reality. Let me go back to one of the statements made by a former speaker. When problems come up, we all look for the solution, right? We have seen the climate change, this and that. Now, because of this issue, you came up with, there is no insurance. I don't even know if there is insurance or not. But now that you came up with it, that means a particular company should offer that solution. Then bring it to the government that will do insurance for farmers.
Yes.
Have they reached out to the government?
Midway.
Have they reached out to the government?
It depends on what you want. Personally, you have to go to them.
So please, I think now the last one. Thank you. Now, dissemination of information to farmers and the link up between farmers and the government. See, as much as someone said, I said it is political, it is this and that. Looking for jobs in Nigeria is also political. Because information don't get to everybody. It only gets to some few set of people. It is now your own circle that determines the kind of information that you get. But nevertheless, we are youths. We are supposed to look for solutions to problems. This kind of issue, someone from Agware or someone from Shaki will say, okay, let me do this survey, know the numbers of farmers in a particular local government, have their details, how to get in touch with them, form an association. Government only recognize association. They recognize a group, they don't recognize units. So, and they prefer to deal with a group. Who is the head of this group? You. They give you the information. Whatever politics this person plays with others, they believe this person has delivered the message. You hear Buhari will say we released 5.something billion for people at rural area. If you think it's a lie, it's not a lie. The truth is they released that money. If it did not get there, it's not the fault of the president. Yes. The problem of Nigeria is we don't even have a bank of information, a bank for records. Most of our records in Nigeria, or most of our information system in Nigeria, it is biased. You have NIS, you have everything. I'm telling you now, look for the solution in your own system. Make sure you come up with that solution and reach out. Please reach out. We want to build our government, we want to build our community to be a better one, and we are waiting for the government. It will not work every time. I can tell you it will not work. Because even myself, sometimes I will read some information, I will be like, but yes. When you see Buhari say we release also amount of money, it's not lying. That is the truth. He is not lying. They release that money. Because when they bring a memo or they bring a document to him, he reads and will be like, okay, what is this thing used for? Will be used for? They will tell him we will use it for this. You say, okay, no problem. He signs and he gives them. It is not his own fault that he signs, because by office, by his own duty is to do that. His own duty is not to supervise. So when you now see shortcomings or a foul play in issues like that, you make noise and let people hear. And once that happens, you start seeing that the government will start looking for a way to compensate people like that. We have the Rice Association. They collected 70 billion to do rice in Nigeria and everything. The day they brought the president to come and commission it, look at that pyramids of rice. After that, they didn't see any rice again. But to the president, he has seen rice now. What do you expect him to do again? He has released the money. So it is up to the other rice farmers to now look for a way to get across to them. So issues like this, the best way to solve this is to have clusters, groups. So when you now have an association, make sure the ones representing you, they are trusted allies. Then they go out. The way ASU is, you can see now, just this is outside the normal, but let's just listen. ASU and other trade unions, other organized, when they want to fight, they don't fight like one, they fight as a group. And you will see that federal government will do everything to break them. Now federal government has COASU. Those ones are working. COASU remains resolute that no, we will not bow. That is how it is too for groups. Once government sees that there is a group fighting them, they know that the best way to do is divide you and have their way. But once they are unable to do that, they don't have any option. It is until they need to. So once there is a group coming out to say this is the right thing to do, this is the total numbers of farmers under us, and I can tell you no government will see that there is a group of farmers, there are 10,000 farmers, and really they are really 10,000. The government will first think that is 10 times 5, that's father, mother and 3 children, that's 50,000 votes. I must listen to them. That is the truth. That is how they will calculate it. 10,000 farmers, father, mother and 3 children, at least 50,000 votes. I must listen to them. And that is how the Hausas are getting more money, more loans, more fertilizers and everything, more than us here. Because they have association of onion growers, association of carrot growers, association of maize growers, cabbage growers. Then they will use that association to go and get loans. That association to get insurance, that association to get everything from the federal government. And Bank of Agriculture or any of these things, they don't have any option. When Buhari is saying, FIBA, Rice Association, there are about 20,000 of them. There are about 2 million farmers. It be like 2 million farmers times 5. 10 million votes. Give them 70 billion. Sign it, sign it. That is how it works. Nobody, he does not know if the money will get to the last farmer. He believes the leaders there are the ones. Thank you very much.
I hope whoever is taking the notes down can just note down that the state government can do this simple low-hanging fruit, where there's a central system where everybody, young people, can go to whatever information you need, can simply solve it. And for the insurance part, I mean, instead of an ad hoc team to look into 0.01% additional taxes to organizations, and I mean, gender can be right to help young people, right? And for that, so that's my contribution to that. I hope it gets to him eventually.
So now, as youth, why are you into agriculture? I want to know your why. I started the workshop. Is it because agriculture chose me? I choose agriculture. Or what shall mistake for me in our bank? I call myself medical farmers. I collect cadara. And they give me animal nutrition about technology. My dear, is that why we are into agriculture? What is your big problem? What is the why? And why? And what are you producing to be the solution?
Hello, my name is Agric. I'm currently an agricultural student. I'm a writer and a content creator.
I'm from Ilori, Kwara State. I'm a farmer, I'm an off-taker, and I'm in processing. Actually, presently, I have one of the highest processor of broiler birds in Kwara State. I have a brand name which is trademark with Nora Chicken.
Yeah, my name is Agric. I'm from Ogun State, Shagam precisely. So far so good. This program has helped me a lot in terms of marketing strategy, how to market your good.
I work with Extra Man Africa, and we have an arm which is Extra Farm. Extra Farm is an arm of Extra Man Africa that gives me to farmers.
I come all the way from Ekiti State, and I must confess, I really enjoy coming here today, to be very sincere. Like, honestly, I'm actually looking forward to the next edition of this. And also, I want to appreciate the organizers of this program. They have really done well, honestly, like seriously. In terms of connection, connecting with my fellow youths, talking together, like brainstorming and everything, like it has really gone a long way.